not to ever let fear stop me from talking, not to ever let pain destroy my purpose. It's a book I wrote so that the diagnosis that I experience with my children with special needs, both of them, would not define our destiny.
Story warrior, we rise and we lead from the motherland's lane. Stories of power, remember the name. Business warrior, voices that shine, African spirit in every line. Lead, inspire, tell your story. Legacy in motion, this is our glory. Story warriors at your word.
In a world full of distractions, distortions, we are in desperate need of storytellers. Why? Because storytellers will help us condense, crystallize, and share with us important information that we need to live our lives. Today, I am in luck of having Dr. Mrs. Judith Oyabu joining us all the way from Los Angeles to talk about a topic that no one is brave enough to talk about it. How do we take care of our loved ones if they have special needs? And a whole lot more. And she'll also tell us something that nobody knows. Why most people call her a career chameleon, and why this matters to all of you who are viewers and listeners of the Story Warrior podcast. My name is Gideon Fumukwai, the Story Warrior. It's my absolute pleasure to say, Dr. Oyabu, good morning. How is Los Angeles today?
Good morning, Dr. Gideon, the Story Warrior. I am pleased to be on today. I'm so glad to be here. It's amazing outside. It's over 90 degrees in California.
Wait a minute, you already over 90 minutes. This 90 degrees, this is only March.
Yes,
what is it going to be in?
It's going to be more tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. That means I can't even come to California now. I'm not coming to LA anytime soon, unless you guys cool down the temperatures a little bit. You need to cool it down.
It's going to cool down.
Okay. Let's get down to business. You have written a book that has become a bestseller, a book that a lot of people are talking about. The book title is Mission Beyond Diagnosis. Mission Beyond Diagnosis is a book that I believe it's so much overdue. And it's a tale, it's a story about, maybe you can complete the gap. What is Mission Beyond Diagnosis about? Give us a high concept.
It is a book born from a promise I gave myself not to ever let fear stop me from talking, not to ever let pain destroy my purpose. It's a book I wrote so that the diagnosis that I experience with my children with special needs, both of them, would not define our destiny.
Wow. So it's a book about diagnosis. It's a book about purpose. It's a book about finding courage to go where nobody has gone.
Yes.
And in this book, which I was privy to looking at some part of it, I could not stop reading. Folks, I don't remember the last time I grabbed a book and I could not stop reading. 2 a.m. in the night, my wife was like, "What's wrong with you?" I was still up and I was trying to, thumb through it. And even I didn't finish the next morning, I made sure I finished it when I got to the office. I could not stop. It speaks to your style of writing. It looks like you had been working on this for a very long time. So maybe take us, when did you first discover that this book had to be written about the diagnosis, about the challenges of raising your two amazing children who have some special needs?
Great question, Dr. Gideon. You said, when did I start?
Yeah.
There is something that sparked the need. It is, let's say, denial that something like this happens in our community.
Yes.
Our community would put aside children with disabilities. In the past, it would be a punishment from the gods. It would be something everybody would not talk about. The children will be hidden and shame. I wouldn't say that it was a negative reason for them to feel the way they did. It was more ignorance. It was more, I don't want to confront something that I don't know about.
Yes, that's
When I thought about writing this book, I was already maybe 5-6 years into several diagnoses. It's been 21 years before the book comes out.
wow. 21 years in the waiting.
Yes,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
21 years. I have been a caregiver to both my kids.
Yeah.
But what really triggered me was the fact that I saw it in the community. I saw that I was not the only parent suffering. But when I approached several people, a particular parent in mind, she turned a very cold shoulder. I thought, why would she not understand that something needed to be done?
Exactly.
I didn't really come out to say I want to write a book and do whatever. It was really a need for me to put it out there, because once I knew that my people were suffering, we all had the same pain, but we didn't want to talk about it, I figured I had to do something. But what I did was go out of my community to find out resources. What is it that other parents are doing? What is it that I can do? So one day when I come out, I will have the full package.
Wow, that is so much to unpack. So when you mention community, I assume you're talking about our African immigrant community.
Yes.
Who may be very sensitive to talk about mental illness, which is one of those topics that I've had somebody on this, two experts on this, say in the immigrant African community and even other immigrant communities, they're very sensitive about that. And then spatial needs. I think, I'm just thinking out here, maybe it's because people have a certain amount of discomfort, or they have a certain amount of fear that I don't know how to approach this, I don't know how to. And in the course of doing that, we're actually hurting ourselves and not lifting up ourselves, because we're not sharing best practices. But you, wearing your hat of a scientist and a mother and a very thoughtful and a caring person, you went beyond the immigrant community to other communities, and you found a solution to the challenges that are actually affecting so many families. Is that, am I paraphrasing it right?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. That is correct.
So based on that, what are some of the lessons that you learned that other communities may be a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more open to talking about their problems, and instead of shrouding them, covering them, and pretending that they don't exist, or worse still, giving a cold shoulder to somebody who is just asking for information on how to handle a situation like this?
I believe the word taboo comes to mind. Taboo really governs why someone wouldn't want to talk about something. I talked about shame, but it's more like this is not a topic to address. The problem is when you don't address a problem, you don't have a solution.
It doesn't mean it's solved, it's covered.
I wanted a solution, and it didn't matter who I asked, it didn't matter where I went, it didn't matter what I would sacrifice to get that solution.
Yes.
That's why I went out of my community. And when I did, at the time, there was no ChatGPT or whatever things you could do. There were very few medical establishments that even considered it as an issue to address. You wouldn't blame anyone if something is rare. Nobody knows what causes it. There's a lot of controversy around the cause, and there were people that were victims. So most people decided to be victims, like vaccine did this to my child, so I'm going to pursue payment. I'm going to pursue payback. I'm going to
lawsuits, litigation. Yes.
I was not one of those.
Wow.
Knowing what caused it doesn't repair it. It doesn't manage the disease. or
Yes.
blaming someone for that matter
Mhm.
is the worst possible thing for your child, for your person with disability. You don't want to be in a situation where you're blaming someone and it blinds you from reaching out for resources. I just
Find a
forgot
solution.
about all of those things and I was just looking for resources. And I found a lot of places. I actually found a community close by where it was a drive away. Women in Orange County with children with autism. And I plugged myself in. And one day I went to one of the picnics and I saw a lady with a stroller that had 3 compartments, children with autism. I had one and this person had 3. So I felt I had to belong.
Yes.
And that's how I got very involved, got the resources, got everything I needed to do, registered in all the centers
Groups,
that I
yeah.
needed to do. I knew all the modalities that were being tried and tested.
Yeah.
Everyone was just throwing the spaghetti on the wall and hoping that it would stick because you don't know what will help. And I came back with very good information because I do remember that I came home and got cod liver oil and tried it with my son.
Yes.
Didn't make a dent.
Okay.
Didn't do anything. But I went back to that mother who had quote unquote turned a cold shoulder and I told her, I learned something today. Give your nonverbal son this. It was not a matter of I know that this is what's happening. I'd already figured that out because it was the same thing I was going through.
Yeah.
She tried and it worked.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So you got a solution
that
from
didn't work
far
for me.
away and shared with someone who initially gave you a cold shoulder and voila, it works for them.
Yes.
What
the kid was calm. The kid said 1 or 2 words after some time, and that made my day. I just kept going.
Incredible. All right. So that's like unbelievable kindness, compassion from you, because if we were some other person, they would have like, you know what, you gave me a cold shoulder, I'm not coming back. But I know you're not that type of professional, you're not that type of mother. So did you discover other solutions? Did you discover other approaches, methods to helping your kids from that community? And if you don't mind, maybe drop 1 or 2, because we don't know who is listening. We don't know who is watching that might even want to reach out to you. Do you maybe throw 1 or 2 or 3 methods?
Yes, I can say maybe 1 or 2. Probably one that also still did not work for me until I met the third one that worked. So
there you go.
The second one was gluten-free, and I think it was called gluten-free diet. So you would take away breads, things that had gluten, wheat. Child would pretty much just eat cardboard.
Yeah.
And to take away lactose as well. And I tried that. It did not work. I came home, bought all kinds of flour that was made out of maybe rice or corn, not wheat, made pancakes. 1, he didn't like it. 2, when he ate it, we didn't see any difference. We got cookies, made them, it didn't help. And what I believe happened that did something for my son was vitamin B12. Well, disclaimer, I am not treating anyone. I'm not prescribing anything. I'm just telling you the things that worked.
Worked for your son, yeah.
Me being a scientist, I was very, very critical of everything that I read. I had to remove the juice from the junk. That's how I called it.
Fair enough.
Yes. So I did a lot of research, and because I happened to be in California, Los Angeles, where the institution UCLA is, the very first group of scientists that attacked autism head on and came up with a modality which we now call today applied behavior analysis. The protege of the scientist that started it, and a center and really pushed science research in conjunction with any form of diet. So I went to one of these and I learned that biomedical intervention, applied behavior analysis, which means you teach the child certain things that they would remember and do it over and over and give them little cues and stuff like that. It's biomedical intervention, which means you do a testing of the kids. What are they allergic to? What's causing them not to eat or be sensitive to certain things? So that's how after the fact, I found out that gluten-free was never going to work for my son because he did not have any of those allergies.
Okay.
Yes, there was no issue with that, but that was after the fact. But when we did B12, these were injections. Trust me, way before GLP injections and things were in vogue, I learned how to inject my son B12. These were made by compounding pharmacies very far off in town. I would drive about an hour or an hour and a half. If there's traffic, I'll go get it and come. And he took it for 15 months before we stopped. Within 3 to 6 months, he was able to say 1 or 2 words.
Wow. Incredible. Isn't that powerful? The power of knowledge, the power of pursuit. And that makes a whole difference because you had to go out there and find the solution. I am sure that there are lots of other solutions in the book. The strategies. And I know some of them even have to do with financial, because even the way you structure your life, the way you help them to be comfortable while you're gone, I'm sure your entire life had to change. What are some other strategies that parents don't often think about that you have discovered to be very, very important? Maybe financial, maybe scientific. You're a scientist. We're going to come to that very shortly. But what are some of the other strategies that parents need to consider if they have a member of a family that has special needs?
There is something that every parent wonders about. Whether you say it or you write it down, it's going to be top on your mind. That thing is, what will happen to my child when I'm no longer here?
Yeah. Yes.
What would happen when you are older as a caregiver, as a parent, and you are unable to even lift them up? Most of these children may have physical limitations, and you were the one doing everything. Now you cannot get up. You are not even gone to the land beyond. You're still around. You're unable to do that. Planning before the storm is key. Planning before crisis is the best thing you can do for your child. And that plan has many, many parts. Financially, physically, meaning who is that person who is going to be there as a caregiver that's going to take over from you when you're not there? You have to plan for that day. It will come sooner or later. And financially, it's a whole new ball game. Your child has what we call a pre-existing condition. That means their chances of getting a great, powerful protection financially is slim to none. I suffered both. I have 2 children with special needs. One of them was denied life insurance protection 6 times, and we finally got it 5 times. We finally got it on the 6th time.
It's try.
And the other one could not be covered. Outright off the bat, the 5 conditions that sit in every financial institution that these people are uninsurable. My daughter had one of those 5. So there was nothing like even attempting. So don't wait for a diagnosis before you plan financially, before you plan for your children. That is what is called legacy. You leave something behind so that, one, the children will be taken care of. Two, someone will take over their care. Three, money should never be a problem on top of the disability. That's
exactly
double whammy.
Because it exacerbates it. Yeah. Wow. That is a very poignant point there, because most people come from the firefighting world, left firefighting and went into emergency management. And we used to joke that when is the best time to buy earthquake insurance, which is just what you're alluding to here. When's the best time to buy a policy before a storm? Is it before, is it during, or the morning after? Turns out in the real world, most people, doctor, they go buy their earthquake insurance the morning after the earthquake, but by then it's too late.
It's too late.
So what you have just shared with us here is powerful, because it reminds us that we know that storms do happen in life. It's not a matter of whether, it's a matter of when. And ideally, as parents, as professionals, if we can, let us make time, get that coverage, get that protection in place before something ever happens. So that word to the wise is sufficient. Doc, you have also been called a career chameleon. And for those who don't know, I think it may be something funny, little quirky, but there's a lot of powerful thinking beyond that, or beneath that. Tell us, when you first came to America, what did you do? And how did you switch around and wear different hats until you are who you are today?
First of all, I have to give you credit for that term, career chameleon. The story warrior put that word in my vocabulary.
I can only take this much. I can only take 1 inch. The vast majority belongs to you, because you earned it, you worked it, you developed it. It's just a matter of, we just look at it from the side and say, maybe. So anyway, go ahead.
Yes, as a career chameleon, I just meant I was changing my career like a chameleon changes the color of its skin. And it didn't matter. It depended on the atmosphere, the environment, what's going on. But when I left Africa, I was an industrial microbiologist. I had a master's degree in microbiology, and my minor was industrial microbiology, specifically brewing science and petroleum science. So I worked with the microbes that change petroleum, crude oil, into what you use, as well as...
No kidding. Wait. I thought petroleum is all some
no
mechanical thing. You mean you have some
matter that has a lot of microbiology into it?
I have no idea. In the pre-production or in the post-production?
Pre.
Or during production? Or pre-production? While it's still on the ground?
Yes.
Very interesting.
On the ground, and during, and also during, because there are other stages. I'm not a petroleum engineer, so I wouldn't be able to speak to that. I just knew the bacteria that were useful for such a process.
Wow.
And brewing science, I'm sure everyone would know about brewing science, the
people
yeast
that consume
and everything
like
else.
That.
Yes, and the distillation all the way. But anyways,
can you guess what? Sorry to distract. Do you know what I'm consuming?
Maybe tea.
Tea is boring.
Coffee.
Coffee is boring.
Maybe some green juice spiked with protein powder. I
like to joke. You know that. Not to make light of the topic of changing careers, but no, I'm actually consuming some coffee. But typically, I would say, it's vodka, which undergoes a lot of brewing, right? It needs some
a lot of distillation.
It needs some bio agents to fix it. But anyway, that was just purely coffee from the motherland. So
that was me as an industrial microbiology. I just landed here, and I was told I had to change everything I was doing and go to nursing or CNA or something that I can have my step, I can get into the system quickly. But I said no. I do have a degree, and the degree was translated as equal to a degree in the United States. So I went out and I looked for a job, and I got one. My first job was working as a lab technician for Procter & Gamble, making lipsticks. So I was basically making drops of paint change the color of lipstick.
Wow.
It was tedious, but I loved it. While my friends were earning maybe $3.75, I was making $10 an hour.
No kidding.
That was 30 years ago, because
So it pays off to stick to what you believe is important, and
Yes.
yeah. All right,
Yes.
thank you.
That's how that was then. Then right after that, I transitioned into pharmaceuticals, and I worked in a clean room. Before everyone was in a spacesuit, fearing COVID and the rest, I was already in a spacesuit in the clean room, checking bacteria in the air as we made epidurals and other very powerful narcotics for the healthcare.
Yes.
Did that for a while, and then while I was finishing yet a third master's degree as a biotechnologist, I was working as a vaccine development lab assistant. So I was cloning genes for vaccine development. I did that for a while. The .com came, and having been excited about
Set you away. Yes.
gene cloning and database, looking for the proteins that would have done their magic after maybe 101 steps through electrophoresis and who knows what. But I decided I'm going to blast off into .com world, and I became a database administrator, and I started really from learning the computer motherboard, working for IBM and doing all kinds of things before I became seasoned database administrator. I worked with Oracle and Microsoft, and that landed me maybe 12, 13 years of my life. I got married, boom, had 2 children with special needs. Then I had to change my career again for the 5th time.
This time,
so that I can
not so much out of search of money, but more for the compassion of your heart.
Yes,
is that correct? Yes.
At this time, it was both compassion for my children and for the establishment. What they did to me with my kids, I figured I had to be part of them. They were supportive. They were the backbone. Nursing really is the backbone of the hospital, believe it or not. Every other part plugs in, but the person that is hands-on is the person that stays with your child.
Absolutely.
And implement all the other things that everyone else has put in place. I had to be one of them. I just had to be.
Wow. So you went and became a registered nurse, which takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. And has that helped the way that you take care of children? And by the same token, others out there, because you said the way the establishment took care of you, you also felt like you need to take care of others. So has that helped you in the home front and outside of the home?
When you are on the other side of the healthcare table, you're receiving care.
Yes.
You appreciate it. And then when you become part of providing care, you not only appreciate it, you do what you would have loved to be done to you. So there were times when I had to fight to get certain resources. There were times when I had to stop certain resources and say, let's wait a minute, I don't want medication. It took me a very long time to get one of my son on a medication. I figured ABA, analysis, changing food, doing that kind of stuff was enough. And my faith was strong that it would happen without too much going on. But I learned that I was hard on the blessing that God was giving me through medication. So that's another thing with faith without action, faith without work, faith without preparing.
Yeah.
You must put that together. So I had to battle that. And part of the reason for putting this down is to enable those who find themselves in a crossroad. Should I or should I not? So when I became a provider, having been on the other side, I could understand how to come together with the parents and caregivers so that we are happy with what we want, with the outcome, following guidelines, so that the result is positive on both ends. The provider is happy that they have applied what they learned. The patient is feeling better about their treatment, and they will follow it. If you don't give something they agree with, they will not follow it.
Yes.
So that's my transition between receiving care and giving care.
Giving care. Wow. So in a way, you've come full circle, and you have learned a lot that you've put in this amazing book, Mission Beyond Diagnosis. This is not so much about you. This book was written also with others in mind. Who are those you had at the back of your mind when you wrote this book, that I was part of the process, stood from a distance and observed how well you were getting it ready to share these ideas, these strategies, this knowledge with the world? Who are those you had at the back of your mind?
The number one would be parents of children with special need.
Okay.
Caregivers, number two, because you can be a parent of children with special needs and not be a caregiver. Let's get to that.
Yes.
Some are overwhelmed by this. Some parents are overwhelmed by this caregiving act. So they not only distance themselves, they are outside of the care. So my book is for both the parents that are parents of children with special needs and parents that are caregivers, and caregivers that have no business in caregiving but their heart. They have nobody that is close to them, not a family member that has special needs, but God bless their heart for saying, this is my calling.
I carry on.
And they come and become caregivers.
Amazing.
Professionals.
Yeah.
Professionals mean everyone in the life of a child with a special need. There are many types of special needs. It could be mental, it could be medical, it could just be emotional.
Yes.
You need different types of professionals to take care of those. Physical therapy and anything that requires maybe a certification, a license, or a certain type of need. What am I saying? You choose a skill, a profession, something that creates the ability for you to perform as a specialist, an authority in whatever discipline you have chosen. These are the professionals. And then the community. People need to know that these people exist. People need to know that there is a certain way to handle people with special needs, different abilities. It's the time where we put our awareness cap on and let everyone know. And the last but not the least is the political system, the society, the policies, the people that write the rules and regulations all need to read this book. Those were the people in mind that I had.
Thank you so much. If somebody wants to find this book, where can they find it online, Doc?
I have a website, missionbeyonddiagnosis.com. straight up. You find everything on it, or you can call me at 951-850-6565. The book is also on Amazon. If you want a Kindle version, you can get it. If you want a paperback, you can get it. But I say, come through the website, belong to the movement, and get your copy a little bit cheaper.
Awesome. If somebody is hungry to have a signed copy, where can they find you in person, doing a lunch or speaking engagement? Where can they find you?
I live in Los Angeles. Once again, my phone number is 951-850-6565. You can give me a call and I would certainly get you a copy. If you go to the website again and just click on a paperback, www.missionbeyonddiagnosis.com, I will get your request and I will autograph a copy and mail to you.
That is amazing. Very few authors do that. So we're grateful that you are kind enough, gracious enough to do that. You might have noticed we lost part of my image here towards the end, the last question, but we're going to end the conversation here. And we want to ask people who are looking for information about autism, about working or dealing with family members who have special needs, to reach out to Dr. and Mrs. Judith Oyabu directly through her number or through the website or through the book, so that you cannot live, you don't continue to live in darkness, but you may use some of the resources that she has shared in this book to help your family, to have a loved one, and continue to share the goodwill with others. Thank you so much, madam, for joining us. We ask you to wait just a few seconds. Let us finish rendering this, and you can be on the way.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gideon. Thank you, the Story Warrior. It was a pleasure being on your call, a pleasure being on this space. I love what you do. And from the day that I met you, you have been an influence in my life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is so kind. I really appreciate it.